A while back, I remember I was talking to a contractor who did really good work. He had the best reviews in his area, he had the best reputation, and his projects turned out really, really good. But every few months, he would mention to us that it constantly resulted in the same problem. His leads dried up, the phone stopped ringing, and he started to become more and more stressed. And that was the crazy part, is that from the outside, he had the brand new trucks, the best employees in the area, but every now and then he would constantly not have work being booked out. And behind the scenes, he started to tell me that there was no predictability in his business. He didn't really know where his next job was coming from. It was all just word of mouth and referrals, and that was it. And honestly, this conversation really started to stick with me because then I realized after I talked to more contractors that that's how everybody kind of runs their business. Everybody mainly relies on word of mouth and referrals, and when those don't come in, they start to feel more and more stressed. There was always one good month, one bad month, and then the next month was, hey, hi, I'm Isaiah. I'm a third generation contractor, and the biggest difference that I see between contractors that are winning and the contractors that are losing isn't skill. It's whether they build a predictable system that scales and constantly is bringing in new leads. Because most contractors just rely on hope nowadays. They hope that the phone starts to ring, or they hope that those Facebook posts or Instagram posts that they're putting out will somehow magically bring in a ton more work. But that's not how this world works anymore. And hope is not a marketing system. And that's when it started to click with me that the contractors that are the most booked out doesn't mean that those are the best quality contractors in the area. They just stopped relying on word of mouth and referrals solely, and they started to build their company off of systems. And that's when I started to see a pattern over and over with the successful contractors in my area. They all had three different main things. People could find them, people trusted them, and they stayed visible consistently. And that's it. It sounds simple, but most contractors are missing at least one of those things that I mentioned. And that's exactly why marketing feels so hard for some contractors out there. I can't tell you how many contractors I talk with that say ads don't work, or Facebook leads don't work, or any type of marketing is a scam. But that's not the truth. Because when you look deeper at this, the problem isn't usually just the marketing. It's that there's no real system behind it. Because once the right system is in place, it stops feeling like just you're getting lucky every now and then. I remember working with a contractor who's constantly stressed out with their lead flow. Some weeks their phone was ringing like crazy, and some weeks there was not even a single call that entire week. And that difference starts to affect everything in your business, such as your confidence or how your pricing is being structured. And that inconsistently starts to affect everything in your business. Your confidence on projects when you're talking to clients, your pricing structure when you're offering different quotes, and ultimately just everything about your business is different if no one's giving you a call for a quote. They start to lower their prices, or they start blaming the economy for just no one's wanting to do any projects right now. But that's not the case, because the reality is that there's always another contractor in your area that is doing a job right when you're saying that. So we were able to rebuild the way that they were getting their customers for this contractor specifically. Better positioning, better messaging, and a better Facebook ad routine instead of just randomly boosting posts. And in a very short period of time, they generated over 42 leads at $35 per lead. Now, obviously, not every single one of those jobs turned into a closed project worth thousands of dollars, but the real goal of this was to start some type of predictability or steady flow of leads coming through the door. And then we started to see something really similar with a bathroom remodeling company and a deck contractor that we worked with. They were relying almost totally on word of mouth and referrals. It was great work when it came in, but it was just super inconsistent. And then that next week, we were able to generate them 26 leads at $57 per lead. And this is what contractors don't realize, and they don't even experience until they have a good system in place. You stop waking up constantly asking, where's the next job coming from? You're able to start becoming more selective with any project that's coming in. You don't haggle on price with your current customers. And this is the biggest mindset shift that contractors need in 2026. You have to stop thinking as just a contractor or a people pleaser and start thinking as an actual business owner with systems that can scale. Because the contractors that are crushing it right now isn't just because they're just great at construction. It's because they have systems in place and predictability with any lead flow system. They're just better at staying more visible. And it's not that these other contractors are better at contracting work than you. It's just that they're staying more visible and they understand how marketing works. This is just the reality right now. And I'm not saying that referrals don't matter at all. I'm saying that referrals should just be a bonus on top of your business. It's not that you should rely solely on word of mouth and referrals, or else that's not a business at all. That's just hope, as I mentioned before. The contractors that dominate over the next few years, especially with AI, are the ones that build predictable systems and lead flow strategies. It's the one who can build the most trust in the shortest amount of time. More calls will result in having more jobs as a business. And this is what contractors should be mostly focused on, not just building more leads, but building stability, predictability, and having full control of their business. Because you might be a contractor who's just getting leads, but at the end of the day, leads does not result in closed projects. The whole system should be centered around closing your projects, not just getting leads. And if you want, we'll actually break this down for your business completely for free. We'll look at how you're showing up, what most likely could be improved on your business. We'll show you exactly what we would do if we were in your shoes and how we'd build that consistent, steady flow of jobs that I talked about before. No fluff, no generic advice, just clarity on what's working for us right now. And ultimately, what will work the most for you. We'll show you exactly what's wrong with your marketing and how you can get consistent jobs from now on. So if you want a real lead generation system instead of just random marketing that these other companies are promising you, book a free audit below and we'll show you exactly what your contracting business needs to scale in 2026. Looking forward to chatting with you soon.